The seventh dimension, how to enjoy peace, happiness, health, and wealth by Brother Minister Leaf. The following excerpt is from a book that I wrote titled The Seventh Dimension, How to Attain Peace of Mind, Money, Health, and Happiness. Chapter 1, 7 Essential Elements. For untold eons, humanity has questioned the meaning of life. As knowledge increased, the people began to feel more secure and began to explore, expand, and experiment with themselves and the universe around them. In this great age of advanced science, humanity self-consciously thinks that mankind can solve any problem that comes up. Most of us seek peace from wealth, relationships, things, events, entertainment, etc. But once attained, we still are dissatisfied. Lasting peace will never last on the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, soul, or in the self dimension. Only in the will or the mind, also known as energy or creator, is eternal heaven. Such heaven is not an ending point. It is the starting point of those who humble themselves and live in harmony with universal law and order. This false dependency on this frail and limited spectrum has manifested a world in denial. Marriages, governments, religions, educations, economies, and natural abodes are in a state of ruin because humanity has failed to act on 7 essential elements. That is, who, what, when, where, how, why, and really? The present rise of pseudoscientists, quackery, psychics, palm readers, crystal mediums, enchanters, magicians, faith healers, and love connectors has stripped the people of their natural power of self-empowerment and, for the right price, placed it in the hand of the mind masters. As we enter the 21st century, it is time to grasp the latent powers within. It is time for a change, a universal change. Part 2, the seventh dimension, how to enjoy peace of mind, happiness, health, and prosperity by Brother Minister Leaf. It is a time for a change, a universal change. For the dominant thought pool of the masses is locked on total dissatisfaction, disenchantment, disillusionment, and chaos. It is time to go to the root of this mind war. To understand the time, we must piece it apart. For the wise messengers of old instructed us to reflect. Surely hindsight is 20/20 vision. Long before angels had wings, long before hell was hot, long before stars filled the night sky, human beings possessed the kinetical ability to communicate from mind to mind. Many women today possess more intuitive residue and often wonder why men cannot read their mind. Who, what, when, where, how, why, and really? Every religion should allow you to think. Who is God? What is God? When did God begin? Where's God now? How can you communicate with God? Why is God God? Is God real? The same questions should be asked and answered regarding the devil. This is the law of polarity. You will better understand the 7 essentials only after you find out about you. Who are you? What are you? When did you become manifest? Where are you going? How did you get in the position you are in now? Why are you alive? Are you real with yourself? Humanity is suffering from spiritual amnesia, and most do not realize it. Picture a person walking down the street looking in a crowd in any downtown city. Imagine seeing this person looking all in the crowd, lifting on their tiptoes to get a better look, carefully examining each face as it passes by. On your way past, you ask, "Are you looking for someone?" And the person responds, "Yes, I'm looking for myself." How would you perceive such? Would you think the person was mentally ill? If not, why not? If so, why so? Behind the human eyes are 3 pounds of gray brain matter forming a mental magnet. The human mind, so called, radiates sending thoughts throughout the universe covering 230 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles and beyond. Far beyond the moon, planets, suns, stars, and space rocks, the law of motion reveals that a thing in motion will remain in motion until it meets opposition or another thought. The dynamics of human thoughts travel in three main spectrums: the positive, neutral, and negative. Just as thoughts go out, thoughts also come in. The brain is actually a spiritual transmitter and receiver. Many overlook this. Thus, they interpret mathematical events as chance, fate, luck, or mere coincidence. However, a chance is not planned or that which is unintentional or accidental. A coincidence is a striking occurrence by major chance of two or more events at one time. These false sciences have never been proven to be true, even though they are taught by pseudoscientists. They are widely accepted by the masses of people all over the planet Earth, covering 196,940,000 square miles. Many believe in the unpredictable and uncontrollable element of an event or occurrence. Even though billions of people believe in lucky horseshoes, lucky rabbit's feet, four-leaf clovers, etc., think of these claims in proportion of the seven essential elements: who, what, when, where, how, why. And really, if one of the essentials are missing, the nature of the claim is flawed. We live in the Milky Way galaxy that really exists. We often walk outside totally unaware of our own reality. When was the last time you took time to simply look up? Not up to a ghost or spirit. When was the last time you were aware of the clouds over your head? Tonight, I want you to do something. I want you to take time to go outside and simply look at the universe. Look at the stars. Think about their beauty and purpose. I want you to just look at the moon. Go outside in the rain and get wet sometimes. Don't take your umbrella. Pick up a rock and look at it. I mean, really look at it. Look closely at a flower, an insect, a glass of water. Consider any natural item in America or anywhere in the world. We live in such a hectic, fast-paced lifestyle. Many of us do not realize what is real. Do not worship the stars, the moons, the planets, the insects, your ministers, your reverends, your gurus, your sheikhs, your teachers. Don't think for 1 second that God's house is your church or your temple or your synagogue or your masjid or your mosque or your university. No. That's spooky. Consider them in the nature of reality. in the nature of that pure essence. Every atom of you, every molecule of your being is one with the universal force. You may call it the mind, scientists may call it energy. Conscious people know what it is. It's the mind. Religious people, and I don't mean spiritual sciences, I mean organized religions. Organized religions misinterpret it as being alcoholic, as the Arabic term is used, which means in English, the creator. And they attribute all types of pseudosciences, falsehoods, assumptions to it. They call the creator Jesus. But their teachers will tell you, no, the letter J didn't even exist in the time of Jesus. So we know for a fact his name was not Jesus. All you Jesus talking is like, no, his name was not Jesus. I mean, he may have been known by different names, but he definitely was not known by the name of Jesus. I know, you spooky people. Y'all think that y'all got the true religion of God. You'd be like, it's Buddhism. No, it's not. It's Hinduism. No, it's not. It's Judaism. No, it's not. It's Catholicism. No, it's not. It's Christianity. No, it's not. Islam. No, all of them. It's atheism. No. God is neither religious nor atheist. God is what God is. And al-haq. The God is nothing but reality. If you want to understand the dual nature of the universe, you must simplify it. We can say Mother Nature, Father God. You can call them by Rahman or Rahim, the beneficent, the merciful. You call them by any name you want. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, I ain't going to say a lot of people, most people, 98% of people out of the 8 billion people on the face of this planet, they think that they have the true religion or concept of God. If you listen carefully to them, they'll speak of this God as some abstract, mythological, spooky concept. They'd be like, God is in your heart. The essence of God is in you. No. Listen up, humanity. You are God. What? You are the God. You are the creator. Not that the creator is in you. I'm saying point blank, you are the creator. Period. There is nothing above you, under you, in front of you, or behind you greater than you. If you dove in the ocean and you study every form of life on this planet, I wouldn't care if it was an octopus, a crab, a shrimp, a shark. I wouldn't care if it was a gorilla, a banana, a mango, a coconut, if it was an eagle or a falcon. I wouldn't care if you study the sun, the moon, the stars, the atoms of life itself. You will never, you have never, and you will never find anything greater than the human being except another human being. The mind of humanity is literally infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that your brain can conceive. You are the holy intellect. But there is a polarity here. See, everything, listen to what I said, family. I didn't say some things. I said everything in the creator's creation has a positive and a negative force. Actually, three forces. It has a positive, a neutral, and a negative force. Scientists call it protons, neutrons, and electrons. Good things, mediocre things, and evil things. Religious people call it God, mortals, and the devil. Or they call it heaven, earth, and hell. And many of you are so spooky with your pseudosciences as your teachers, you think that when you physically die, you're going to go to this magical heaven. But if you didn't pay your taxes and obey the tyrants on the face of the planet Earth, as they properly taught you, the slave masters, you're going to burn in hell forever. Pseudoscience, man-made googly book. Don't believe the hype. The reality is the universe is simply the universe. You have the intuitive ability, the natural ability. You're born with the innate capability to either tap into your protons or your positive forces, or you could be neutral. You could be mentally dead. You could be in the form of the neutron, or you could tap into your dark side, your electrons, your evil side. But there is absolutely nothing in creation that is not based on universal mathematics. So as I said, pick up a rock and look at it. Really look at it. Look closely at a flower, an insect, a glass of water. Consider any natural item in America, or anywhere in the world for that matter. We live such a hectic, fast-paced lifestyle. Many of us do not realize what is real. Do not worship stars, moons, planets, insects, etc. Consider them, connect with them, vibe with them. Our sun does not have to say anything. Just a touch is sufficient to move whole planets or worlds. You have an inner sun greater than our outer sun. You have a fire in you. This natural light leads to self with freedom, justice, and equality, and is not obsequious or excessively attentive. So, if you are not aware of self, how can self benefit self? How can you answer your own prayers? Human beings possess a higher and lower self. Obviously, our lower self has been dominant. If we return to our higher self, depression, stress, envy, lies, superstition, bad health, poverty, ignorance, disease, hate, and war will be eliminated because we're using the law of vibration and vibrating in such a positive way. Bringing your actions up to par with your thinking will be the greatest war you ever fought. You can win, though, family. When positive thoughts harmonize with positive actions, the very atoms of creation rejoice and remove stingers, claws, fangs, poison ducts, and human weapons. The earth ceases to quake. The winds give each other free passage. The very volcanoes will spill fresh water instead of fire. Fertile soil and new life and wealth rather than liquid fire. Human beings will master the universe in which we now live. Every path leads to heaven on earth. The kingdom come on earth as it is in your mind. We see hell without because we have hell within. For the most part, the people of the world are still mentally asleep. There are those who would like to keep us asleep, and many of us suffer from spiritual insomnia. We are afraid of the dawn, for the dawn is followed by clear light, and light by nature agitates those who are asleep. There are several so-called holy books used by religious people all over the world. They want you to think that your origin came from a mystery God, and unseen. They want you to think that nothing did something. No one is everyone. They want you to believe that all of the hard work, all of the beautiful mistakes our ancestors made in building civilizations all over the planet Earth were really done by some intelligent aliens from another planet. This is the spooky nonsense that we believe in this day and time. These holy books have been known to transform lives, and if perceived wrong, they have been used to wage unrelenting wars all over the world. How we mentally perceive and comprehend these holy books is a major factor to their manifestation. All these holy books are linked to the followers of the righteous. None of these holy books fell from the sky. The believers may all believe in the holy book that was revealed to them, yet a variety of different religious branches usually emerge. Each branch honestly believes that it alone is right and exact. Yet we find successful members in each individual branch, and we find absolute fools in each individual branch. So we find success and failures in all of the branches. All over the earth, they are considered ministers, rabbis, imams, gurus, root doctors, etc., who subconsciously teach their congregation to disregard all others. That's how they make their money, family. They differ in theology, but agree that heaven and hell are spiritual realms that are experienced once we physically die. We do not ask the seven essentials. Thus, we take their interpretations of life, death, God, and the devil, hook, line, and sinker. The mind sleepers make the simple complex to confuse, control, and contain the mental aspirations of the masses. In effect, they think for us. With all the organized religions around the world, we should wonder why the world is in the terrible state that it is in. This is not an attack on religion per se, for true religion, which is really spiritual science, is based on universal law, common sense, mathematics, freedom, justice, and equality, nature. Is based on the sciences of life. Surely reality speaks for itself when it is spoken. Many of us are free to admit that there are things we simply do not know. We think our title, our status, and reputation will be tarnished if the people knew the truth, that we are learning along with them. We may know a little more, but we are ignorant to certain issues too. Remembrance of the Creator is a powerful force. Few people realize they're during the actual lifetime of people like Buddha or Moses or Jesus, Muhammad, etc. These notable personalities did not start out with, quote, places of worship. They perceived the unique and divine ability of humanity. If we could only become one with the life force, which is called Yahweh or Jehovah, God, Allah, Jesus, etc. That supreme and absolute creative energy that generated the primal atom of matter over 114 trillion years ago. When we become conscious of the Creator and see the Creator as ultimate reality, we realize the beauty, splendor, and oneness of the Creator. Eventually, we will grasp the importance of substance over our rituals, borders, languages, and beliefs, or beliefs. We realize the hidden meaning behind bowing our heads
or placing our heads on the walls of Jerusalem, or making 7 circles around the Kaaba in Mecca, Arabia, or getting on our hands and knees and praying to Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, whatever. The truth is, the prophets of God, the teachers, went out to teach in the wilderness. They would gather the people on the side of a hill or in a valley, and they would simply teach peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. In this day and time, we're not coming in the clouds over your head like the Nimbus cloud, the Stratus cloud, the Cumulus cloud, the Cirrus cloud. We're coming in a digital cloud, the iCloud. We're coming with Bluetooth. We're coming across with the law of vibration or the sound waves that travel 1,120 feet per second through social media. It is rare to find priests, ministers, gurus, imams, etc. out in the streets or parks, etc., teaching the people. They want you to come inside that fancy building. We have many excellent preachers, but very few teachers. Many give inspiration, but very few give you the information. There's no separation between energy in a material universe. There's no cultural division in the spiritual science of the life-death cycle. When we become conscious of the true and living God in the mirror, we realize that we do not have to go to a certain building or a certain country to find God or speak a certain language or wear a certain headpiece or turn in a certain direction or any act or ritual. We simply must recognize God as God. This personal and direct connection produces personal and direct results. This is how you really get your prayers heard and answered. It is time to go to the real house of worship, to fellowship and better organize your higher and lower self. But this is not necessary to understand God, for you are the real house of God. Let me give you a little quote from the Bible. Not that I'm into organized religion, but every spiritual science is true. The Bible is true if you understand it. The Quran is true if you understand it. The Torah is true if you understand. All these holy books is nothing but the thoughts and culture of the people written down. All right, let me quote the Bible real quick. This is what the Bible teaches us. Think about this. Know you not that you are the temple of God, and that the spirit or mind of God dwelleth in you? If any person defiles the temple of God, they shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 16 to 17. The mind is infinite. You can close your eyes and see a red tomato, yellow lemon, a pink rose, green grass, purple plum, orange, blueberry, etc. Our mind can see colors. We can think of an old song and hear the music. Our mind can hear, family. We can think of a flavor, and our tongue and digestive tract will visibly respond to invisible food. Our mind can taste. We can dream or fantasize about sex, and our physical organs will literally become stimulated and aroused. Even though we are alone, our mind can feel. We can imagine any pungent odor, and our nares or nose holes will flare, and our mind can smell. Our mind is where we physically will never exist unless it is in subatomical form. Our mind is all in all. When you try to reach the limit of the mind, you find the mind of the mind. It has no beginning nor ending. There is no wisdom, power, or force outside of you that is independent of you. There is nothing in front of you, behind you, under you, nor above you that does not have its origin within you. See God in your person. Allah Sakin, the God in person. See any mirror. The mind is the faculty of thinking, reasoning, and acquiring and applying knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You must listen to the teacher within. God speaks to humanity through humanity. In the past, for the past 6,000 years, you had over 4,000 organized religions. Each one of them originally had truth, but the truth was hijacked. And instead of spiritual sciences, you're believing and practicing counterfeit religions. You have been so spooked out your mind that you allowed Satan to make you think that the negative is the positive. You think the devil is God, and you think the God is the devil. You think the angels of God are the demons, and you worship the demons as the angels of God. God is one with humanity, not separate and distinct, but God is humanity, and humanity is God, plain and simple. Spiritual assertion is predicated on self-confidence. You will never know God. You will never know God until you know yourself. You will never properly and fully love your partner, your family, or others until you first learn to love yourself. You cannot love if you do not understand what love is. You don't fall in love. You have to rise up to love. Satan got you think that you have to fall in love. You got to go to hell for love. No! You got to become conscious. You got to have empathy, sympathy. You have to have concern. You have to be a human to understand the pure essence of love. Love, as the messenger taught us, is an elevation of understanding of those who are their original or natural selves. We usually perceive love as being directed outside of ourselves. Thus, many of us give too much of ourselves to others, and in return, we feel drained, betrayed, empty, and spiritually starved. When you say you love someone, what do you mean? Use the 7 essentials and think over love. Is love one force or one degree? When a man says he loves his wife, for example, what is he saying? Is the love unlimited? If a loved one violates the unwritten codes of love, will he or she still love them? Many couples start out in what they consider love and end up hating each other. For love to manifest, it must be real. It must be pure, family. It must be holy. Holy is that which has not been diluted, mixed, or tampered with in any form. If you really love someone, you love their perfections and their imperfections. Holy is that which has not mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. Love comes in stages and degrees. And despite what Hollywood claims, real love has conditions, and there are clear degrees of love. E.g., for example, a man's love for his wife is different from his love for his mother, daughter, sister, friend, etc. Love is an elevation of understanding, as I said, of those who are original. The dictionary defines zigzag as a verb, and it means to descend as a ski slope by crossing and recrossing. When we mix our unreal expectations with real love, we weaken our spiritual connections in the universal order of things. We reduce oneness into a fraction. We begin to divide and spiritually subtract when we think we are adding and multiplying. Do not lose focus by aligning the mind with the arena of egocentric thoughts. Many homes are broken because people try to satisfy aphrodisia or sexual hunger by wrapping it up in a shiny package called love. But real love has little to do with the first dimension or the physical. The physical love is an elevation of understanding. It exists in the plane of God, the seventh dimension or the will. Today, it is common to hear persons say, I love you, without realizing who the I is. What love means and who you really are, because you only present the false you. You are afraid of the real you. You never look in the mirror and see you as you. Most likely, the one that you claim to be, you fail to please the real you, so your love is really a false love. You're losing the mental war of attrition, and you smile when you really want to cry. Your mass family is slipping. You ask people how they are doing when you really could care less. You say you are fine when your whole life is a mental wreck. You have failed to remember that you are the self-creator. Be still and listen. Do you not hear the self-accusing spirit within yourself? Once you learn the divine and living power of reality, you will feel real love and happiness and an inner peace that words cannot properly define. A newborn baby needs someone to hold his head lest it falls. The elder needs a cane lest they stumble. You need help until you can spiritually help yourself. But you will never find that spiritual help in organized religion. I don't care what church you go to, what synagogue, what masjid or mosque, what temple, what university, what have you. You will never have peace of mind and contentment, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life until you have the courage to deal with the real you. To see that God or that goddess in the mirror. To understand that you have to answer your own prayers. God helps those who help themselves. And verily, Allah will never change the condition of the people until the people change the condition of their own hearts. The heart in Arabic is qalb. It means your mind. Scientists and physicists call the mind energy. Preachers and teachers of organized religions, they call it God or the Creator or Jesus or Yahweh or Buddha or Moses or Abraham or Lot or what have you, because at the end of the day, the world is ran by corporations. Fiat money runs everything. The love of money is the root of all of our evils. We have to understand the reality of the world in which we are living. For practicing in the seventh dimension, the negative thoughts will no longer take root in you. The unrelenting darkness, sadness, and heaviness will be lifted from your heart forever. You will finally breathe the breath of life and become the true and living soul that you naturally were self-created to be. With such a new perspective on reality, you will no longer suffer suicidal inclinations. The mind enslavers will fail to trick you with so-called religion or technology. You may be shunned, ostracized, slandered, and considered a, quote, weirdo by most, rejecting the concept of the supernatural for the all-natural will be a struggle. I'm not saying this is going to be easy. I'm saying You're going to die a lot of deaths, and you're going to resurrect yourself from every last one of them. Because in reality, family, there is no concept of life and death to the Creator. The Creator is, was, and shall be. But everything that we call death or dying is actually a transformation. There's no spooky karma. There's no spooky Ife, Yin Yang, I Ching, and all these other. But they're based on truth. They're based on reality. What they're really talking about is the universal order of things. When you take anything that you see, remember, it used to be a thought. The car was an idea. The couch was an idea. If you picture a house made of trees or log cabins, and you go out and cut down the trees and build a log cabin, you brought the mental into the physical. If you see snow and you take off your coat and pack the snow in your coat and make some bricks, and you build an igloo or a house out of the snow, you brought the mental into the physical. If you see some dead grass and you cut down that grass and you structure that grass into a grass hut and build you a house, you brought the mental into the physical. If you was living in a swamp and you was able to take roots and vines and trees and build houses on top of the water, you brought the mental into the physical. If you was in a hot Arabian desert with the sun scorching your skin and your camel died of dehydration and you skinned that camel and built you a tent and made you a house out of animal skin, you brought the mental into the physical. This is the natural adaptation of the human being. It don't stop here on Earth. You can adapt to life on the moon, on Mars, on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, even Plutone or Pluto. Anywhere there's other planets outside of our Milky Way galaxy. You have the ability, the innate ability to be on this planet and build an atomic structure that you can literally, physically extract minerals out of the rocks of the Earth or other planets or other asteroids and build you a machine that will allow you to travel through the entire planet Earth. Physically, you can physically travel through the sun. You can physically travel from here to Alpha Centauri, the closest star, equal to 4.3 light years away. There is no such thing as a limitation to human potential. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. But the reverends, the ministers, the gurus, the sheikhs, they're going to take the power out of you and put it in the sky, put it on the clouds, put it on dead men, put it on dead women, put it on myths, put it in fantasies, put it on themselves so that they can control you and get your money. Wake up, family. Your relationships, financial status, health, and class will improve because you are finally free, because you heard a word, and that word was bond, and that bond was life. And in the beginning was the word, and the word was not only with God, the word was God. Your inner ear feeling this vibration is going to send a signal to your brain. I wouldn't care if you're a newborn with a 7.5-ounce brain, 14 billion brain cells generating a power to equal to 1/70,000th of a volt of electricity. Your thoughts travel 24 billion miles per second. Or you're an old man or an old woman with a 3-pound brain. The power is in your essence. It's not in your DNA. It's not in your RNA. It's not in your melanin. It's not in your nationalism. It's not in your rituals or your symbols and your signs and your languages. It's in the essence of what we call the mind. Your mind, family, is over matter. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. I wouldn't care if it's a proton, a neutron, or an electron. I wouldn't care if it's your God self, your mortal self, or your devil self. Yeah, you wear masks. You act like you're just holy than thou, God. No, you're God, you're mortal, and you're wicked as hell. This is the nature of the universe in which we live. Your challenge and my challenge is to have balance, mayat, peace, truth, health, wealth, freedom, justice, and equality. To learn more, make sure you check out the whole book, The Seventh Dimension, available at noyreport.com. Or you could download the ebook right now, right today, family. And you just send me your email and I send it straight to your email and you can read the whole entire book on your own. The struggle continues. Peace.